This is how much I've lost in 6 months.
Awesome, man. 6 months. Let's go.
My name is Yuan Cheng. I'm 34 this year. I'm father of two young girls. Currently, I run an investment education company. Over the past 7 years, I help investors to understand the company they invest in. At the start of the program, I weigh around 80 kilos, one of my heaviest time. Then as throughout this entire transformation, I managed to bring my weight down all the way to 65 kilos. If you asked me 6 months ago, I would never imagine that having a six-pack or losing my body fats and be able to carry both of my girls, be able to bring them to those playground, to resorts where we have like trampoline or even sliding down the slides with them. I would never imagine myself doing that. Now I have the best energy that I had, which is like 5 or 10 times more. And I think that these all attribute to the success of the program. So in the past, I had to run multiple events across different countries. So there were many times where I have to fly in a month a couple of times. Due to the hectic schedule, when we were rushing for places, I can't really have proper meals and sometimes irregular meals as well. And of course, in the social settings, as is a business, I have to meet people. And there were times where we had alcohol, we had a large amount of food. So even though my tummy was happy, I began to develop the acid reflux. And this is a very painful thing at home because whenever I sleep, the acid reflux kicks in. I will feel like I have to come out to the toilet to vomit at some point. And then it got worse where it leads to cough, very bad bloating that I couldn't sleep late at night. And due to that, my energy level began to deteriorate. My sleep and work cycle is also affected. My physics also ballooned. My highest, I was at around 83 plus. And I had never been at that weight before. I began to wear more loose clothes so that I feel like I can cover myself, and I just become a person who doesn't really love myself so much. That I realized that I needed to change. And of course, the major thing happened was back in 2020 when my first daughter was born. I wanted to understand like how am I able to care for her in the long run. Because I have low energy and I was overweight, I decided like let's go and hit the gym. But end up, there was one occasion I went home with back pain that doesn't go away for about 2 weeks. Eventually, when I see the doctor and they said that it was a mild sick disc. When I sit down, I don't feel good at all. And things started to deteriorate where when I started carrying her, I noticed that I couldn't even move. I stood there frozen. Then my wife was asking me like, what happened to you? That I said that I feel spasm on my glutes. It was really painful. There was also some sharp pain on my calf that I can't even bend down to pick up stuff at all. The doctor would say that don't round your back, don't do heavy lifting, so not to make the pain even worse. And that makes me more inactive at home. There were many occasions where I could not do my duty as a father. Example like bathing my girls, carrying prams and stuff like that. Because whenever I do that, the pain would trigger and I became the burden. And this is a very lousy feeling because even though my wife don't say it, I could see the disappointment in her eyes, her emotion when she feel really tired taking care of 2 children at that point in time. I also feel very disappointed because my energy at work starts to get worse, and there was really nothing I could do. And even at work, I began to be labeled or called as the big boss in theory, right? Because when we travel, I have my bags, I have my laptop bags, but because when I carry them, my glutes were frozen and I had to stand there for like 2 to 3 minutes. So my team members were like helping me. And I feel that as a leader myself, I couldn't walk the talk. There were times where because of the event that we had, I had to give it a miss. I couldn't stand on the stage. due to the back injury as well. I was given certain medication, and even at some point, the doctor had to issue like steroids just to really cool the inflammation that I had. And because of all this, I felt that my speaking ability got affected. And at a point in time, I do feel concerned because as a trainer or as a coach myself, people are attending my event. I really have to deliver a good show. And because of the coughing as well and the acid reflux, I think it's just so frustrating. I just feel like people were taking care of me rather than I take care of them. So when I first met Preston, he was really a caring person up front. He understand. He was like, moving around my back and looking at my posture. Straight away, he pointed out that where the pain would likely be coming from. And I was very surprised because in the business networking, there was only a couple of minutes that we met. So he exchanged contact and he even offered several YouTube links or several guides along the way to help me with my back. He eventually reached out to me again in a couple of weeks and asked me, have I tried on that? So I thought that this person coming into my life like this means that something special in a way where we had more connection, we had more conversation around my back pain. So when Preston comes into the picture, we have a really clear plan in terms of nutrition, in terms of the sleep that I need, in terms of the workout. Based on his experience, he could tell what would be more comfortable for me. And there wasn't a really rigid, okay, you must complete this or you must do it in that form. And I felt comfortable in my space at a point where I was feeling frustrated about my pain. And eventually when the pain starts to go away, my body starts to heal, I also begin to feel like my energy starts to go up. And I realized that has a significant impact. Especially when you talk about energy, it actually applies to all the aspects of my life. It's not just looking at me losing weight, it's not just looking at me having muscle. Because the energy that I give around right now is also to my wife and to my kids. After dinner, usually we will just watch the TV, rest on the sofa, having some snacks. But because of me being more active at home, I have a better interaction with my kids. I even suggested to bring my wife out for a walk, and this whole thing just started to snowball. My wife now enjoys having the walks with me. We have more time together. We have more conversation that we never thought would be possible. And this actually even spread to my father-in-law, and now we all go down together as a walk as a family, and it become a routine. But I would say that this transformation initially is really just for myself, only looking at my back pain, but now I think this has spread really positive aspect to different areas of my life. Now, when I see the doctor said that I do not need to take those medication anymore. And in our next session, he said that if my condition were better, that would be the last time I will see him. I have this condition over the last 3 years, and the amount of sessions that I paid to see this doctor is really quite a sum of money. And I think that this money could be channeled to use it for my family, and I'm thankful for that. So if I am not on this program, I guess that I will still be someone who will just sit down at the bench. I will be probably having the same amount of weight. I will also be missing out a lot of precious milestone, whether it is celebration with my family or the friends around me. And I think that the biggest change is really the energy. The energy allows me to get creativity. The energy also allows me to have more commitments in the biggest plan that I have with my wife. It's kind of like having my prayers answered in this sense, because looking back, I wouldn't have done all these things if I have not met Preston. I think that was really one of the best things, because now I no longer feel lethargic. Now my acid reflux is gone. Now I have the best energy that I had, which is 5 or 10 times more. And I think that these all attribute to the success of the program.